We should get starting and then people can join us as they go along. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the virtual showcase. I hope you're all well in these weird and slightly dystopian times that we're all living in. I think what is quite interesting at the moment is one starting to see there's been a sort of mind shift in what's happening in events. I think people were hoping that events would return and they'd be able to entertain clients and colleagues in a more sort of traditional manner, but now everyone's accepted that. I think that is in 2020 that is going to be impossible, and probably for quite some time into next year. And the events industry is by its very nature a very entrepreneurial industry, and you're starting to see some really incredible products coming through and innovative. I mean, a lot of companies are fighting for their lives, and that's really when sort of entrepreneurs get at their best. So you're starting to see some great product come through. And I think today we're very lucky to have three cases, three examples from people who are either used to being physically with people and executing their business and pouring drinks, cooking food, entertaining, that sort of thing, but now having to sort of change how they operate. But in fact, underneath that, they've still got fantastic products. So I'll introduce them in a second. For the last presentation, you're all going to have to turn your video on so that we can see you, but you can stay muted and faceless for the time being. So first up, I'm going to introduce Michael Simmons from Rocket Food. If you don't know Rocket, they are one of the best caterers in London and the UK. I've been lucky enough to eat their food on a number of occasions, and it is absolutely, I mean, the service and the quality is superb. And it is a great pleasure to have Michael here this morning, and they have come up with, I think, a brilliant product. And Michael, I'll hand over to you now, and you can tell us what you've been up to and what you've pulled together.
Guy, thank you very much for a lovely intro there. I'm going to actually tell you a little bit about Rocket and about how we've adapted to the new COVID situation. And I'm going to then, could you just let me share my screen, please? Sorry, Guy, could you let me?
Yeah, I think Clifford's doing that now.
Thanks.
Yeah,
thank you. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Rocket and our story since we started. Then I'm going to tell you about what's happened to us since COVID struck, and then the ideas that we've come up with. And I'm going to finish telling you about our new product, which is called a Cook's Tour, and it might be of interest to some of you. So Rocket is a family business. I founded it with my sister 20 years ago in 2000, and we've over the last 20 years turned it into one of the top caterers in London. And my father is the chairman, my mother is a non-executive director, and it really is a proper family business. We've got a fantastic team, and it's always been driven by the quality of the food. So as you can see, we've always had terrific chefs, and one of our priorities throughout the COVID thing has been to try and retain the talent that we've got, because we want to emerge from this a stronger business and ready to deliver amazing events for people. I'm just showing you a few shots of what we used to get up to in the old days before March. We also ran a cafe, a beautiful cafe for one of our clients called Burberry. We did it for about 5 years, and sadly during COVID they decided to close it. But it really was the ultimate in sort of luxury cafes, just off Regent Street, part of their flagship store. We've also just consulted with them for the launch of a new cafe in Shenzhen as well. As well as the events and the restaurant for Burberry, we do Formula One hospitality. For the last 7 years, we've looked after the Mercedes team, and now we're also looking after the Racing Point team, who are shortly going to become Aston Martin. And we have a team of 20 people who go around the world with the team, doing absolutely incredible hospitality. So our clients, we have a fantastic range. We started off very much focusing on the luxury industry, and then became more involved with blue chip corporates. And we're accredited by all the top venues in London, and particularly prolific at places like the Royal Academy, the V&A, the Natural History Museum, where we've done some fantastic events. So Rocket, until March, we were turning over about 9 million, of which 6 million was events, 1.5 million was the Thomas's Burberry Cafe, and then 1.5 million was Formula One hospitality. And we had a team of about 50 full-time staff at Rocket HQ. So when, in March, when everything happened, we lost all our events business overnight, and really were worried we didn't have a business at all. Burberry then closed their cafe. There was a lot up in the air with Formula One. And the first thing that we did, luckily when Rishi came in with the furlough scheme, our staff went on furlough, but we approached some clients, and we had a handful of amazing clients who funded our campaign to feed the NHS. And we delivered, we partnered with the Royal Marsden Hospital in Chelsea and Sutton, and we delivered 30,000 meals for them. And that was purely on voluntary basis with all the staff. When we surfaced in June, we spoke to all our clients, and there seemed to be a demand for beautiful virtual events and corporate hampers. And PwC wanted 300 beautiful branded hospitality hampers to be sent out to their clients for Wimbledon, for example. Although it wasn't Wimbledon, it was the Andy Murray match. And that's been a great success. We also then in July, our plan was to really make use of the talent we had in the kitchen. And when you've got a very expensive, very talented Michelin-starred chef, you don't want him filling hampers. So we decided to put him in front of a screen. And that picture there is Ryan. And Ryan's our exec chef. And we decided to start doing masterclasses. And these proved to be pretty successful. And throughout July, I think we did 4 masterclasses to friends and family, and where we were sending out the ingredients, and people had a lot of fun. They found them very entertaining. And that's what I'm going to be talking to you about now, as we move on to a cook's tour. So the 4 main products that we've got in the pipeline, the new Rocket for 2020, consists of the Rocket boxes. So those are the hampers and Christmas hampers that we're sending out to clients. We've also got lunches that we're sending out to employees' workplaces, and we can courier. I've got a client in John O'Groats who orders supper, and that goes in these beautiful sustainable packaging. And then we've got Pocket Rocket. This is something we're going to launch after Christmas. Beautiful, beautiful trays of perfect canapes and miniature cakes, which are great for sort of meeting rooms and that sort of thing. And then the masterclasses. So we've done some corporate masterclasses for people like Bloomberg and BNP Paribas, and they have been hugely successful. Ryan has got a real knack in front of the camera, being engaging, and we're very lucky in that sense to have a chef who is a natural presenter. He teams up with Charlie, who used to be a director of events at Rocket, is now sort of co-presenter of a cook's tour. So a cook's tour is what these masterclasses have merged into. It's fundamentally an interactive cook-along masterclass, and Rocket does all the preparation beforehand and sends out beautiful, beautiful ingredients from our top suppliers, which arrive on the doorstep on the morning of the show, and then your guests tune into the live stream and cook along with us. The idea is that we have wonderful destinations, and We have taken people to places like Kerala, to the Basque Country. We're going to Istanbul next week. And these menus are just, they're a snapshot of what Rocket used to do when we did parties. What we've discovered is that this product is incredibly adaptable, because it's not only perfect for Christmas presents, for individual rewards and gifts, but also for small-scale team get-togethers. Anything from 10 people can tune in and have a really, really entertaining evening, admittedly at home, but then share all their pictures together and catch up later over a drink and talk about the fun that they had. We're also, we've got bookings for large Christmas parties. We've got one booked in for 900 people. The ability to scale this up is terrific and actually really, really deliver fantastic entertainment to people. We've partnered with Event Concept as well, who take care of the production side of things, and they can also patch in any important speeches or entertainment or anything that you might want for a Christmas party. It's very reasonable as well, because it starts at about £64 a head, and depending on what level of bespoke detail you want to incorporate, that can be adapted. So the menus that we're running at the moment, as I mentioned, we've done the Basque Country, we've done Kerala, we've got Istanbul, we're taking people to Bali for wonderful exploration of the food there. We've got an Australian menu, and we're also doing some pop-up ones with paired wine tastings as well. And then Korean street food. We've also got, for some corporate clients, we're doing a sustainable Christmas menu as well. I'm going to show you a short video to finish, and then I'll take some questions.
Good evening and a warm welcome to a cook tour with Rocket, and our first destination, the Basque Country.
Mushrooms and vegetables, and as you can see, sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. And what I want to do is put the space there, not yolk right in the middle.
Michael, that's absolutely fabulous.
Great, thanks, Guy.
I showed this to my wife the other day, and she said that is our Christmas shopping solved.
Yeah, well, I hope so. It's been very popular.
Brothers and sisters-in-law will be getting this, and I think where I commend you so much is seeing, a fantastic company that you've built up, and managed to innovate and sort of create a first-class product in a really hard environment. And I hope you're so successful with it. I really do. And I think everyone here who's listening in today, what I'd be most grateful for is, not only, you might want to introduce this to the company that you work for, but if you can share this information with friends, companies in the hospitality industry need all the support, but I think, there's such a quality outfit, Rocket, that, I think anyone that you refer this information to will be grateful. And I think, as I say, for a large corporate or just for friends and an innovative Christmas present, I think it's an absolutely wonderful.
Thanks, Guy.
So I hope you're really, really busy with this, Michael, and good luck.
Thanks very much.
Right now, we're going to, I met Kuka Coffee about 2 months ago. I didn't really know much about cold pressed coffee. Still probably don't know that much about it, but I have tasted their fantastic product, and now I'm going to hand over to Kuka, and they're going to tell us about this wonderful product and also about their espresso martinis. So over to you, guys.
Thank you very much, Guy. Thanks very much for having us, firstly. I'm John, co-founder of Kuka Coffee. We founded in 2016 with the view to kind of make coffee more accessible to people in hospitality in the bar industry. We've got coffee and cocktail backgrounds, so we kind of wanted to bring that together, and through that we created our cold brew coffee, which is espresso strength, used widely in the hospitality industry across mostly London, and we work in event spaces installing our espresso martini taps. Obviously,
Sorry, I'm just going to, John, just interrupt you there. Clifford, is John, or is it just me that he's on a small little square, or can he be the center stage on this, because it's just a small square on my screen?
No, he's on speaker view.
Okay, sorry, it's just me then. Sorry to interrupt you, John.
Clifford, if you spotlight him, then everyone can see him big.
That's better. That's fantastic. On you go, John.
yeah, so like I was saying, we've basically been working with the hospitality industry through kind of bars, nightclubs, restaurants. Obviously, similar to Rocket, all that business ground to a halt fairly quickly when lockdown started. So we've had to pivot what we do, focus more of our attention on retail spaces. So since then, we've secured listings in Whole Foods and national distribution with Ocado and through Amazon. We've then kind of thought to ourselves, how can we kind of reach a different audience that we would have been reaching through our hospitality sites we work with, and we came to the conclusion that we need to kind of make the drink that is our bestseller kind of more accessible. So we came up with these espresso martini gift boxes that we're just about to launch, ready for Christmas. The problem that we found with delivering cocktails to a home environment is a lot of people don't have the necessary kind of kit and equipment in their kitchen to kind of get involved in making cocktails. So we thought, right, how can we make the process super accessible and really easy for people to get involved in at home? What we came up with was this Kuka Coffee shaker jar. So we've kind of reinvented the jam jar. It's a pretty simple old creation, and giving you everything you need to make an espresso martini without any fancy cocktail equipment, without thousands of pounds worth of fancy espresso machine. Everything you need is in our cute little gift box. So what do you get in the gift box? Well, you get the Kuka Coffee welcome pack. In here we'll give you a few recipe cards. We've got the instructions included, how to make the drink, although it's super simple. You get one bottle of our espresso strength cold brew. You get the Black Cow miniature, really nice Dorset vodka made from milk, and a little bottle of coffee liqueur. From the box, you'll not only be able to make 2 espresso martinis, but there's enough coffee here and also other recipes on the jar for you to make your favorite coffee the next morning if you've had a particularly exciting virtual Christmas party and you need a remedy for that. We've got you covered. You'll notice that there's 3 really simple ingredients. In a classic espresso martini, there's you're going to get espresso, vodka, coffee liqueur, and sugar syrup. What's beautiful about our cold pressed coffee is that it's naturally sweet. So what that means is we can take out added sugar. So not only are you getting a delicious espresso martini, it's also got less sugar than a classic espresso martini. But anyway, I'm going to really quickly talk you through how to use the jar. It really is really simple, so hopefully it doesn't cause too many issues. But okay, so along the side, I'm not sure if you can see,
Yeah, we can see that. That's great.
Yeah, so we've got all the measurements for the ingredients, so you just follow those up. We start with the Kuka. Up to the line. Then vodka, up to the line. Finally, liqueur. Up to the line. And then ice.
Oh, we're all going to be wanting one of these now.
Once you fill all your ingredients, lid on, nice and tight. Good hard shake. Lid off. And one perfect espresso martini to be enjoyed with your reusable straw. So,
How fabulous.
Yeah, so the kind of goal was to take away the time, the mess, the expense, and really make what is a super popular serve in all bars and restaurants accessible to people to have at home, without the stress and hassle, really. I mean, there's nothing worse than going to a bar and waiting for 15 minutes for a cocktail. And we've taken that concept and put it in your home. We're going to run you through the two other drinks that you can also make with the Kuka jar. Obviously, everyone's got different taste, and we've got, as well as the espresso martini, we've got the recipe for a perfect Kuka Americano, if black coffee's your thing. And if you prefer a flat white, we've also got the flat white recipe. So, same as before, we'll start with your Kuka. Up to the line. Milk, or milk alternative. Up to the line. Ice. Lid on.
John, just tell us what's the difference between cold pressed coffee and normal coffee? Because I think a lot of people don't know what that is.
Yeah, so cold pressed coffee actually originates from Japan. It was a way of brewing coffee that the Dutch came up with to essentially preserve it. So our product is fresh specialty coffee with a 1-year ambient shelf life, 10 days once opened. So you're basically capturing all the flavour from coffee, bottling it and making it super accessible. In comparison to hot coffee, when you brew a classic espresso, there's a few things to it's brewed under high pressure, high temperature for a short amount of time. So 8 bar of pressure for 30 seconds extraction. What that does is that extracts a lot of the oils that give classic espresso like its inherent bitterness. When we brew cold brew, we take that process and we flip it on its head. So flip it upside down. And we brew for 24 hours as opposed to 30 seconds, no pressure at room temperature. What that means is it's more of a slow, like an infusion. So it's kind of a cross between making tea and coffee. So it's more of a tea brewing process with a coffee result. What that means is you get a low, slow extraction and infusion, and that extracts less oils and more of the natural sweetness that you find in coffee. So you get a lot more palatable end product without the bitterness that you find inherently in espresso. So you're getting the same strength, It gives you a better result in cocktails because the flavour profile is a lot more balanced, so you don't get a dominant coffee taste. And it's also, yeah, really accessible, versatile. Chuck a bottle in your fridge door and you've got everything you need. So yeah, I hope that kind of covers everything. If there's any more questions, please drop them in the comments.
So you're just launching this box that people can order, and so ballpark, how much is that box going to be selling at?
So we're retailing the boxes at £30. Obviously, we then we can offer tiered pricing for bigger orders. So yeah, we do offer a wholesale price structure if people are looking to order larger quantities for corporate gifting, perfect for Christmas parties. A really nice interactive kind of product without the mess and the hassle and risk to electronics. So
the perfect evening measuring up here so far is going to be doing the Rocket Food Show with a sort of espresso martini from Kuka, and you're all made up now. I mean, what a fantastic combination! I think it's a wonderful product. Just so you can see on John's screen here that he's got a tap there. So just remember when we do return to the real world, I have had one of the Kuka espresso martinis from that tap, and they are absolutely delicious. So for a party, a wedding or anything, and you can pour them quickly, can't you? You can, rather than waiting and waiting.
Yeah, exactly. So the taps are as you'd expect. It takes a long and slow process, and we can essentially pour about 7 cocktails a minute. So they're perfect for any big event, wedding, corporate function. Yeah.
They're really good. Well, I wish you guys all the very best of luck. And again, it's wonderful to see this kind of innovation coming. I mean, young people starting a business with a great quality product. I mean, to get it into Whole Foods and other distributors, well done. And as I say, I've tasted it. It is absolutely delicious. So, and I wish you all the very best of luck with that. And again, everyone watching this, please share it with your friends. Tell them about Kuka Coffee. That'd be wonderful. Now we're having a sort of a complete change now away from food and beverage. And it's a great pleasure to introduce Alex Crowe, who's been very busy during the last few months, I hear. And I'm not going to say a lot about what Alex does, because I think it'll be better explained by him. So Alex, good morning and welcome. I'm going to hand over to you.
Morning, thank you. Clifford, can you make me a host, please?
I just have done so.
Perfect.
Alex, just bear in mind, of course, that some people might continue to join us.
I will, absolutely. And if I could ask everyone that's able to put on their video, it would be great. It's very difficult to read minds of people I can't see. Good. Okay, let me just change my view slightly here, and then we'll get going. Let me start with a quick introduction video. Here we go.
How do you know that? I don't even have a clue how you know that.
Don't believe it.
Oh my God.
So yes, good morning, and welcome to this part of the showcase. So mind reading and weird stuff is what I do. Obviously, since COVID hit, all my work went out the window, and about 4 months ago, I realised that nothing was going to be changing in the near future. So I decided to take my show virtual, and I created a show from the ground up. Really, everything that I do in my show is designed specifically for the virtual environment, with multiple cameras and video, etc. And obviously I need some people to help me, and I'm going to give you a little demonstration of the sort of stuff I do now, so I thought that'd be fun this morning. because the best way to experience this is to actually try it out. So let me reassure you about a couple of things. Firstly, I'm not going to embarrass anyone. We're going to have great fun. I'm not going to be performing any hypnotism, so none of you will be clucking like chickens. And last but not least, if I pick up any personal thoughts from you, I promise I'll keep them between the two of us. I won't share them with the rest of the audience. Now, one of the challenges when you're doing an online show is that you need people to be able to see the person you're reading their mind of and yourself at the same time. And luckily, I've got some software that will allow me to do that. And I love this moment because it's a bit like, you know, when you're watching TV and you're watching someone watching TV, but they don't know that we're watching them until they sort of switch the cameras, they see themselves on TV. This is a bit like that. So there we go. We've got Andrea here. Hello, Andrea. See, that's the moment I was waiting for. That's the moment I was waiting for. Anthea, could you do something? Anthea, that's right. Yeah, Anthea, thank you. So Anthea, it's okay. This will be very painless. Anthea, life is all about choices. And there are various choices we make. You know, right, wrong, up, down, left, right. Some of the choices we make are quite profound. Say the wrong way, the right way, the easy path, the long path. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I change my job? Should I stay where I am? Some of the choices we make are more mundane. So, you know, Chinese for dinner or an Indian takeaway, for example. You're going to make a choice now. Do you want the right envelope or the left envelope? Now, before you choose, Anthea, I want you to choose one that feels right for you and leave the one that's left for me. Don't let me influence you at all. Which one would you like, the right envelope or the left envelope?
Left.
The left one. Okay, now, one of the challenges when I'm doing an online show is that I have to keep everything within this frame. So the one you don't want, the right, I'm going to put here so we can see that all the time. Let me open this up. You see inside this envelope, there is a piece of card, and it says on this piece of card, you will choose this envelope. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking it says exactly the same thing in the other envelope. There is something inside here, Anthea. There is another piece of card, just one piece of card. This one actually says, you will not choose this envelope. So there we go. Fantastic. But it's only a 50% choice. The only other challenges, of course, when you're doing a show online is that people don't clap, you know, because it's kind of weird clapping at home. I've got to work around for that as well. It's okay. I've got my own applause. I'll get around that. Now, the other thing that I have with me, as I said, I have got multiple cameras. So it means that I can actually get like an overhead view. And we're going to do that now. And at the same time, I'm going to call someone else up on the screen, which will be Irene. Hello, Irene. Could you unmute yourself for me, please, so we could hear you? Can you unmute yourself, Irene?
Yep. Hi.
Perfect. Okay. Hello there. Do you have a pen and paper to hand?
Yes.
Great. So, Irene, I want you, in a minute, I want you to draw something, okay? Something that you would normally draw. Now, as opposed to a scribble or something, I want you to draw something specific. You know, house, tree, anything you like. And normally what I would do at this point, and we can do this now if you want, if people want to try and interact with this, try and guess what you think Irene's going to draw and just put it in the chat thing. I'm going to draw something here. So let me just do something now before you say anything, Irene. Okay. I'm going to leave that in position there. So normally at this point, as I say, I quite like having a lot of interaction in my show. So normally, and as I say, you feel free to do this if you want to see if you can partake. You can put a little thing in the chat room, in the chat box there, to see what you think that Irene drew. It'd be interesting. We get some interesting results there sometimes. Depends on how well you know Irene, of course. Irene, have you drawn something now?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the first time, Irene, I've already committed myself. That's going to stay there all the way through. Irene, tell us, what is it that you've drawn?
Sun. Do you want me to show you?
No, a sun. What? So you drew a sun. Was there a particular reason that you drew a sun?
No.
Okay, you see, the interesting thing is that a sun, someone who draws a sun, quite typically, they're the sort of person who's quite an optimistic person who see the glass as half full as opposed to half empty. They don't cry for spilt milk. If something goes on, you know, they move on from it. Yeah, very, very positive sort of person. Let's have a look at your sun. Show us the sun that you drew. Oh, brilliant. Okay, there's no way, Irene, I could know that you were going to draw a sun, is there?
No.
Except I did draw something before you started. Let me just show you. So there we go. Give Irene a round of applause. She was brilliant. Thank you, Irene. Okay, right, let's get a few more people up. Now, I need to change my set slightly here because you all need to be able to see this. This is very important. This needs to stay in view all the time. Oh, I do need my pen, which I've left on the other table. Let me just grab that. And we'll get back. Sorry, I had to dive away there. Good. Okay, so let me start with... everyone's going, oh, no, don't pick me. Francesca. Hello, Francesca. Yes, it's me. Hello. Francesca, could you unmute yourself for me, please? Lovely.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Now, obviously, when we were in lockdown at the beginning, there were certain things we weren't able to do. And one of the things we couldn't do during lockdown was go and see our friends and our relatives. So I want you to think, Francesca, of the first, don't tell me yet, the first person that you went to see after lockdown, okay? Just think of that person. I'm going to write a little prediction here. I'm going to write on here, person. Hopefully you can all see that. You just write something on here. Okay. Okay, I've written something down. I can't change my mind. I'll tell you what, I'm even going to staple that. Staple that together so I can't get to it. And again, at this point, quite often, normally I would get people to put in the chat box. I see we've got some chat there from before. Oh, we had some guesses there. Someone thought you were going to draw a cat, person, flower, and a pet. Okay, interesting, good. Okay, so now's your opportunity. Guys, in the chat box, just put what you think Francesca, the first person Francesca went to see after lockdown. You could put like a relative, or you could be the name of someone. If you want, mother, a lot of people have said the mother. A few people have said the mother, friend, a mum, dad. Now I'm going to write this down so I don't forget, because otherwise I will. But Francesca, we've got a few there. So tell us, who was the first person you went to see after lockdown?
My husband.
Your husband. Okay, and what's your husband's name?
Alistair.
Alistair. Does he live far away from you?
Yeah, he lives in London.
He lives in London.
I
And
live
how
in
long?
Paris most of the time.
You live in
We
Paris.
commute.
Oh, lovely. Okay, and how long had it been since you'd seen Alistair?
During the lockdown, was locked in Paris for kind of 3 months before seeing
Wow.
him.
Long time. Okay, right. Let's go to. Who should we have? Let's go there. Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Hello there. If you could unmute yourself, Charlie, that'd be great. Now, one of the other things, of course, we couldn't do when we were in lockdown, so we couldn't go and have anything to eat. Let me just write meal on here. So, Charlie, I want you to think of, if you could go to any restaurant and have your favourite meal, what would it be? Don't tell me, just think of something now. Let me write something down on here for you. Okay. Okay, and again, I've written something down. I'm going to fold it up. I've quitted myself. So, guys, it's your opportunity to see if you, someone's already put it. They've got Michael's already put in Dover Sole. He thinks you'd have Charlie, not Dover Sole. Says Charlie. Charlie. So, tell us if you could have any meal, your favourite meal, what would it be?
Chinese.
Chinese. Anything specific? Anything specific with Chinese?
Singapore noodles.
Singapore noodles. They're a bit spicy, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Singapore noodles, excellent, good. I do like those myself as well. Okay, so let's go to let's have a look. Let's see who else can I see? I need to be able to see people. Hello there. I can't. What can I ask your name?
Yes, Heather.
Heather. Hello, Heather. Now, Heather, one of the other things that we weren't able to do during lockdown, and we can't do a lot of it even now, is go and see a show. Okay. And I'm just going to write on here, show. Hopefully you can see that. And I want you to think of, if you could go and see a show right at this minute, what would it be that you would see? Just think of it for a second.
Okay.
Okay, again, I've written it down, committed myself. Let me just fold it up, put it in here. Okay, someone's already Michael's getting ahead of the game. He said, do you think you should probably go and see Wicked? Is that a favourite show of yours?
Yeah, it is actually.
It is? But that's not what you were thinking of, is it?
It wasn't, no.
No, what was the show that you were thinking of?
Hamilton.
Hamilton, It's brilliant, isn't it? Have you actually seen the show?
I have, yeah. I would
Have you?
love to see it again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I only saw it on the TV, but I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Okay, so let me come over to the last person, which will be this young lady here. Hello there. Oh, it's me. Hello, Nikki.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Nikki. So, Nikki, one of the other things that we haven't had to do, of course, is go on holiday. On holiday, okay? Now, I want you to think, if you could go on holiday right at this very moment, where would you go? Don't tell me, just think of somewhere. You have somewhere in your mind, yes?
Yep.
Okay. I've written something down. Can't change your mind. Let's just staple that, put that in there. Okay, so we've got a few people putting in here. Someone thinks you go to Istanbul. Someone thinks the Algarve. I did one of these recently, and someone put in there Skegness, which is the best place, really. But so, Nikki, if you go on holiday anywhere at all at the moment, where would you go?
Bali.
Bali?
Yeah.
Bali. Wow. And have you been to Bali before?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Right. I don't know where Bali is. Whereabouts is Bali?
Indonesia.
Indonesia. So it's quite a warm sort of place, is it?
Yes, lovely and tropical.
Right. Lovely. Let me get these out of here. Now, actually, I'll go on to the main view so you can all see me. Now, one of the challenges with this is taking these apart so that you don't, so they don't actually rip. Actually, let me just get rid of that as well so you can see better. Good. Let me just do this in. Undo all these. There we go. And last one. So let's do these in reverse then. So, Nikki, your holiday, if you can go anywhere, of course, was Bali. Let me just turn that over.
That's amazing.
Heather, where's Heather's one? Heather, you wanted to see a show, didn't you?
I did.
The show that you could go and see, have you already seen it before? I said that I liked it as well. Was Hamilton.
Wow.
Yeah. Who was it had the meal? Well, that was Charlie,
Me,
wasn't it?
Charlie,
yeah, Charlie,
yeah.
your meal. You liked Singapore noodles. And last but not least, of course, was Francesca. Francesca, and your first person you went to see was your lovely husband, whose name was Alistair.
Wow.
Yeah. Fantastic. Guys, I'm going to, round of applause for those guys for helping me. Thank you. Good. I'm going to finish. I'm going to do one more thing for you before I take any questions. So let me just use one more person that's not to go yet. Let's use Rob, I think. Hold on. Rob. Hello, Rob. Are you well?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to, yeah, very well, thank you. I'm going to take you over to the other camera for this. We're going to play a game with you, Rob. In fact, what I'll do, I'm just going to change another view so you can see the whole table. Because, Rob, what we're going to do, we're going to play a game of noughts and crosses, okay? Now, do you want to be noughts or crosses, Rob?
Cross.
Okay, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay, where would you like to go?
Top left.
The top, what, this one up here?
My left.
That one here?
Yeah.
So across to go there. Okay, I will go down there, I think. Where would you like to go now?
Middle.
The middle one? What, this one here? That's the power position. You want to go there, yes? Is that correct?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm going to block you down here. Where would you like to go now?
Bottom middle.
Bottom middle to block me. Okay, which means you block me and now you've attacked me. So I've got to go here to block you. Where would you like to go now?
I'll go left side gap.
This one here?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I've got to block you again. I'll go here. And your last one, you have no choice, of course. You have to go here.
Yeah.
So we ended in a draw. Now, there's no great surprise there because noughts and crosses, provided no one makes a mistake, will always end in a draw. It's an unwinnable game. But really, winning or losing wasn't important here. There's something more interesting going on beneath the surface. You see, what we've really done is created a random pattern here. And if you hadn't decided to start off by going here and take your second one here, we would have got a completely different pattern, yes? First thing that's interesting is we're left with a nought because you decided to be crosses and decided to go first. If you decided to be noughts, then there would have been a cross left over. But there isn't, there's a nought left over. And on the back of this, it says, we won't use this one. Now, there is something on each of the other one of the tiles here. Part of a pattern, part of a picture, like a mosaic, if you like. And if these these tiles hadn't been placed in exactly the same this pattern, then this wouldn't have made any sense whatsoever. Let me just turn them over. Fantastic. Give him a round of applause for that. He was brilliant. Well done, Rob. So that's a little glimpse into the sort of stuff that I tend to do in a show. Normally my show is 45 minutes long. If I'm doing it on Zoom, I can get up to 1,000 people on my account for Zoom things. As you see, it's very interactive. I do some other stuff where I actually get people from the audience to do some stuff at home. Including one where they get a real moment of weirdness at home and they actually experience a real moment of strange at home, which is really, really lovely. That's about it, really. Anyone got any questions or anything?
Alex, that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm sort of, taken aback, actually. And it's great fun as well. And I'm sure we've actually we've all enjoyed that. And it's great to see, again, you're a live entertainer and you've adapted and did a show that really, really comes alive online. I've just had a fantastic sort of 15 minutes watching you, so thank you very, very much. And again, everyone out there, if you can, who's listening, share Alex's details with friends. I mean, we're going to be posting this on the video of this, and if anyone's looking for an idea of how to entertain, I think clients or colleagues over Christmas, I think this is a fantastic alternative. Something to look for. So I think we've just presented the best party that you can put together virtually. You'll start off with your espresso martini. You'll then cook the delicious rocket food, and then you'll relax and be entertained by Alex. I think that's absolutely fantastic. We have we've got one gift box of the espresso martini to give out. So I think someone, either Michael or Clifford, is going to select someone randomly who's going to be given that.
Michael, I believe you're going to...
Yes, I think we've selected totally randomly Irene Doran.
Oh, great. Well, Irene, that'll be making its way to you in due course, and I hope you really, really enjoy that. I'd like to thank, in particular, our three presenters, Michael, Alex, and John. I'd like to wish them all the very best and good luck, and I hope you keep busy and farewell. And to the rest of you, thanks very much for joining us, and as I say, please share information about these wonderful companies and personalities with people you know, and thanks very much for joining us. I've had an entertaining sort of hour, I think it is, and please, we will be doing another of these in the future, and encourage other people to come along. But until then, Michael, Alex, John, thank you very much for taking part this morning.
Thanks for having us. Cheers.
Goodbye, everyone. Look